My name's Anna Isabella and I'm a freshman nursing major.
I'm Celia Coyle and I'm a freshman nursing major also.
I'm Samantha McCann. I'm a sophomore in health administration major, and our profession is a dietitian.
Education required is a bachelor's degree in public health nutrition, dietetics, clinical nutrition, or something similar, a similar program that is recognized by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. The role of a dietitian is to educate patients on proper nutrition and diet, and it's unique to the specific patient's needs and health concerns. And there are a lot of responsibilities of a dietitian, but some of them are to assess the patient's nutritional needs. They counsel patients on healthy eating habits and make sure that they have a good nutrition plan. They develop meal plans that are specific to each patient's health needs and budgets. They take into account their budget too. They keep up with and contribute to the latest food and nutritional science research. So they also do research along with patient work. And they promote better health by speaking to groups about diet, nutrition, and healthy eating habits.
So where do dietitians work? Dietitians can work in a lot of different places, but some of the more common places for them to work are hospitals, long-term care facilities, public and private clinics. They can work in private practices as well. And their job is just to create nutritional plans that will help the patient live a healthier lifestyle, whether that just be to improve their quality of life or if they're in the hospital and they need to be discharged. And then dietitians want to create and implement a plan to ensure that their clients live their best and healthiest lives.
I found was that their main role, as we said before, is to help people make informed and practical choices about their food and nutrition, meaning there really is no specific group that they help. They kind of help the general population, so that includes both healthy and sick people. But certain specific groups that go together mainly that I found were people that have digestive problems or that want to lose weight. With those two, dietitians can help them decide what foods to avoid and just see what works best for them. Other groups include people that need to put on weight after an illness. They either have HIV, have an eating disorder. With younger people, if they're in a big sport, if they really committed to it, they can go to a dietitian if they want to improve their performance. And then a big one that I found too was people who have allergies. So for dietitians in general and for interprofessionalism, more specifically in ambulatory settings, they can assist their clients with weight loss and gain, malnutrition, gastrointestinal issues, chronic diseases, etc. They also work with patients that doctors and nurses believe need the help, and they give recommendations that will achieve their healthy goals and their healthy lifestyle. And they can also work with psychologists to determine patients that are at risk for eating disorders, so they can kind of determine what they've been eating, what they haven't been, and kind of decide what their best healthy lifestyle can be for them.
And dietitians can also work in inpatient settings. So their main job there is kind of just to determine who is at risk for malnutrition. So they kind of just provide education regarding chronic illnesses and help the patient manage them. And dietitians work with doctors, nurses, and they also work with speech pathologists to evaluate the diet and make sure the plan is working for the patient and they're improving.
They also have a really big outcome, or they have a big role in the outcome of their patients. They can help them turn their recommendations into actions once they're outside the hospital or wherever they are. Sometimes it's hard for people when they want to lose weight or gain weight to set realistic goals for themselves, and if they don't see action at first, then they may quit on their goals, and so dietitians can kind of help them see the long-term plan with their eating habits. The main goal of this project was to determine how dietitians work with other professionals, and me being a health administrator major, it was kind of hard to find how dietitians and people in the health service would work together. But I did find that although they may not cross paths physically, health administrators have the ability to help dietitians keep their patients' records in check so they can provide the best possible care.
And I'm a nursing major, so I found it interesting because I found that nurses and dietitians collaborate in order to give the patient the care they deserve. And dietitians are tasked with assessing the patient's nutritional needs, so they provide their body the nourishment it needs. And the interprofessional relationship is that nurses need to communicate and collaborate with dietitians to ensure that the patient is receiving the best care that they can and that they can be healed to the fullest extent. And in the same way, dietitians need to keep the nurses informed in any changes in the patient's diet, and nurses need to update the dietitians if they feel a change in the diet needs to be made.
The insights that we gained were that dietitians work interprofessionally with various healthcare workers. We have a health and services administration major and nursing majors, but they work with various healthcare professionals just to ensure that the patients just are getting the nutrition that they need.
And the main goal of all of these professions is to ensure that the patient is getting the best care. So even though all these professions are different, all professions in the healthcare field work with one another to ensure that that happens.
And as we said, again, that dietitians work with nurses, health administrators, all types of other healthcare professions to implement a healthy lifestyle for their patient that's best for them. So that is our presentation for you. Thank you for listening.